Hello, boys. Hello. Yo,
Hello?
can
Hello?
you hear me? Hello, Mr. GM. It's time, boys. We got to get him in. We got to get him in the Discord call. He didn't join in for whatever reason.
He said 2 seconds. He's doing something.
Okay, perfect. Yo, Mr.
Doing
GM,
something, I don't know
with
what.
the rate of 157, all the follows. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna get the show started here in just a second. We're just gonna get Mr. GM in the call and chat. Can everybody let me know if the music's too loud? Can you know? Is the music not a boy but hello too? When I say boys, I mean I'm all encompassing. Okay. Music volume's 10 out of 10. Perfect. It's good. Awesome. Perfect. All right. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. There you go. Good. Okay. I need to change this already. I'm so bad at doing my job.
Oh, you ruined my entrance, man.
Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Well, it's only because we have, Mr. GM's not here. So let me,
It's okay.
Hold up.
Mr. GM.
Jeez. Yo, what's up, boys? Okay. Mr. GM, where the...
Whoa,
Come on,
clean
dude.
room.
Dude, I did clean my room. It's actually really good.
Oh, you.
Everyone at Mr. GM and just Weird Champ until he joins.
He's taking a duty, probably.
That's gross, dude. All right, hold up. Let's just do this. Beep, boop, boop, ba, ba. Full screen. There we go. Okay, we'll just do that for right now. Also, your sub icons are DK icons, of course, dude. I've been maining a DK for quite some time now, and
Chocolate, did you know that your sub icons are TKI?
oh wait, they are? Yo, Nicholas.
Yes.
55 chicken nuggets, 55 bits, yo, or actually $5.
shit.
Holy crap, dude!
It's the $5 hairs.
$5 donation. Holy crap, thank you, dude. Yeah, but listen, I might be maining a paladin in Shadowlands, dude. You never know.
Yo, honestly, I've been thinking about revisiting the Death Knight. I mean, I'm just deeply in love with my Demon Hunter, but I mained DK since Wrath until Legion, so like.
Dude, DK is so good.
I think Shadowlands might be the time to go back and make my DK my main ult.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. DK and Paladin are the ones I'm going for.
Yeah.
The main alt, yes, of course.
Main ult.
Yo, boys, thank you guys for everything.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah,
Showing us
we're-
the nuggies.
We're just waiting for Mr. GM to hop into Discord chat, and then once we get that, we'll be good to go. So with that, let's just hang out and just talk to the chat for a little bit. Okay, here we go. Yo, Copter with the follow. Thank you, dude. What about
Guys,
alt
hey,
names?
let me just make a quick announcement. If you guys notice, this shirt has the warrior helmet on it. It's very nice. It's very sleek.
True.
Fits me very nicely. If you're interested in buying this shirt, visit Mr. GM's merch store,
Yeah.
because this is where you will find the only living, breathing version of this shirt. Ever.
Actually, true. I had
That
one.
makes no sense, but yeah.
Okay. I had one, but I don't know if I got like a stain on it or it tore or it got like fucked up in the washer or something. But now it's gone, man. I'm so sad about it.
Yeah, we'll have to get you.
So I'm wearing
Reach
the
made an
only
Maximus,
I'm
so-
wearing the only shirt that has like anything to do with the European Union, like the EU,
Yeah.
because it has Ireland. I don't even know is Ireland part of the EU. I don't even know, dude. I don't know anything about all I know about is America, dude. Okay, Mr. GM, come on.
Okay. He's coming. I don't know
The
where
EU.
Yeah.
Ireland's part of the EU. Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
yo, boys, yo, where are my NA boys at? Where are my NA boys at? Let's get some K-Konas in the chat, boys. Ireland could use some freedom, and we can move. True, yeah, actually true. What's up, Maximos? I live in Texas. Oh, yeah. Texas is where it's at. I need to get a big Texas flag for the back of my stream. That'd actually be
I would
pretty
love to
epic,
visit
dude.
Texas one day.
Yeah, one day, dude.
I need some barbecue, man.
Yeah, I can make some barbecue. I'll smoke up some brisket,
That'll be beautiful.
some ribs, all
We'll
that
have
good
a
stuff.
little podcast date.
Dude, that'd be so cool to actually have how are you gonna tend
Just
to?
go.
I remember I'm doing fantastic. Just go. Listen, dude, we can't start without our special guest. I feel like my camera's like all like the lighting is all weird because I have my window open.
You look crisper.
I look clean. I look good. Well, hey,
yeah, my window's open too. I feel like I look a little better too.
Yeah. Some sun does the body some good, right?
That's true. Some vitamin D.
Oh yeah, true and factual. He went traveling to Texas. Oh, I see. Love that,
Funny
dude.
either way.
Okay, dude. Chill out. Okay, dude. Chill out. Chill out, little spark. Okay, dude. I would knock on the Texas
Yo,
right now,
Spark.
though. Corona S. Yeah, actually true. Listen, Texas is doing pretty bad with the whole coronavirus meme. It's not doing pretty good.
Meme.
I mean, like, really, like, life is a meme right now, dude. Like, life is just a big meme.
Life is a huge meme, in fact. Except, you know, it's not a meme.
Oh, he's here! Okay, hold
That
up,
was
hold
spot
up.
on time.
Everyone, wait. Boys, welcome. Thank you for joining the podcast. Okay, now we can start. I'm gonna have to edit this, dude. Anyways, we're here. We're starting soon again. Mr. GM
Wow.
is our special guest for today. A very special EU-friendly episode, might I add. You know, for all my EU friends. Stream soon, part 2. Actually true. Here we go, boys. Let's see if it worked out. Oh, hold up. That's my camera. Just kidding. I already broke it.
Does mine not
it
work?
is. Nope, I got you, dude. We're perfect. There it is, boys. Welcome,
double
Mr.
me,
GM. Welcome, dude.
How's it going?
What's going on, man?
Look
How
how
are you
cute
today?
he looks.
Thank you for the awesome raid, man. I appreciate that, dude.
That's alright. It's alright.
Adam's cut in half. Oh,
You have
crap,
double
he
me,
is, dude.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, double Adam.
Hey, this is we don't call it a great podcast for nothing, okay? There we go. We fixed
That's
it.
true.
Multiplicity, right? Have you ever
So
seen that movie?
No.
It's a great movie. It has some guy in there and he's like has a bunch of clones of himself. It's fantastic.
Damn, must be the life. Yo, Dan, I sold out your merch at the beginning of this while you weren't here. So, yeah.
Michael
Oh, the
Keaton. Yeah.
t-shirt.
Michael Keaton has Michael Keaton in it. Fantastic movie.
I don't even
Boys.
have that t-shirt.
Welcome.
You don't even have. Why? This is like your best shirt.
That's true.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I
Welcome
told you
to
when I
episode
first
6.
got this that you should make like every class
That'd be
have a
sick.
shirt.
Of like the best tier set for every single class.
True.
Could be
All right.
worth it.
Listen.
Easy money.
Welcome to episode 6 of the PUGCast, the #1 World of Warcraft podcast the day before reset. Not for EU though. EU's on Wednesday. Anyways, we have a very special guest, Mr. GM, hailing
there's another
across the
podcast.
pond. And we always start out with the same question. Mr. GM, how did you get into WoW?
My brother played it in 2004, and then I just watched him play all the time. And then I ended up making a character on his account, which is still my character now, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Whoa, account sharing.
Yeah.
W, dude.
It's-
Pretty bad.
That's
True.
Ban. Hey, everyone, report him.
I think literally everyone's story starts with some sort of account sharing bullshit.
Oh yeah, me and my little brother
people,
shared an account until like I got a job.
I'm still sharing it. Oh wait, no, that's not right. Started playing in 2004. He started playing in 2004. I played in 2005, and then I got my first account in 2006 on Christmas Day.
Nice.
And then, because my mum bought my mum bought vanilla, and on Christmas Day, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll pay for it for now." I'm like, "Oh, cool," because I was only 15 or something.
Yeah.
And then 11 days later, no, like 3 weeks later, Burning Crusade came out, and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna need this one too."
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel.
What you mean, mate? I just bought you the video game.
Can I just self-plug for a second? So I already know his whole backstory because a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I asked Dan to help me put together and participate in a documentary
Yes.
with a handful of creators that explain, like how they got into WoW and everything. So if you want to see that, I'll link that another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you again for doing
Sure.
that a year ago.
It is true. Val
Man.
Hobbs is also in it.
It's
Wow, Hobbs
crazy.
was
It's
in it.
crazy how long we've all known each other, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's funny that now Shadowlands Alpha is out and look how fucking far you've come, because I
True.
remember when I first discovered you was the BFA Alpha.
20 viewer
And-
Andy on Twitch, man. I remember
Yeah.
those days.
20 viewer Andy on Twitch.
Now look at you, man.
Yeah.
Big dick
Well,
streams
it's
all
still
the time.
20 viewers. It's just bots, really.
Oh, hey,
It's just loads
true.
of different tabs
No.
opened by Adam.
but but
Yeah,
but
probably.
no bullshit, man. Like you have been succeeding, and now you are. I feel like you're finally starting to like your streams, your talent is finally starting to show, with the results you're getting on your stream, and I'm super proud of you, and I'm just super happy that you're finally getting the views and the subs and everything that you deserve, because you are a fantastic creator. So you've been doing it for a super long time. So you definitely deserve it.
I mean, super long depending on who you asked, you know.
Well,
my history's kind of
it's funny that we're talking about that now. I just got the email invoice of my monthly sub for you, so you're welcome.
There it is.
Thanks. We'll go straight on the house.
Hey, one more on the house, boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, World of Warcraft, man. So I know, like, obviously you're in the alpha, and I know you're doing a bunch of profession stuff today, and I really wanted to talk about that because I recently got into professions in BFA. I don't know why I chose BFA to get into professions in, because I feel like it's like really bad, especially if you're like have a bunch of alts or whatever. Like what do you think is like the highlight of like the new profession system for Shadowlands right now?
I mean, to be honest, I haven't really touched professions in a while, so I've got nothing to compare it to. But like, it's so at the moment it's only up to 100. Like blacksmithing, for example, like maxes out at 100, which is kind of cool because it makes me think like maybe in 9.1 they'll make it like 200 or like 300 in 9.2 or whatever, which would be kind of cool. Like having to go and use, I presume, like a new, like let's say a new zone comes out in 9.1. Like all the ore, all the new herbs, all the new, you know, gathering profession stuff will be there, and the skinning stuff, and you'll be able to level up that profession from that zone, right, in the new area that you go to. So that'd be kind of cool. That's kind of a prediction. I don't know if it's actually gonna be like that, but you know, whatever.
Do you think that they'll add like I mean, because when I look at the Shadowlands map, we have what, 4 zones in a major city, and then and then the Moss. So I guess 5 zones. Yeah. 5 zones in a major city. I feel like that's not enough for a whole expansion of stuff to do.
Well, obviously they're gonna have more. Like they're gonna open it up like
what's like your predictions for like what do you think that they're gonna add that's like new or whatever?
They'll it's not really unpopular, but it's a bit of a random opinion that I think they're gonna add more covenants. They'll add more covenants. I think they'll add definitely more zones, and I think this one more than any other expansion will have more zones, because the zones you have are very much kind of, you know, you go to them and you explore every little part of it. It's not like they can open up a different part of that zone. So I think the new zones will essentially be like, because, you know, at the beginning of the Shadowlands, the Shadowlands features trailer, Bolvar says the Shadowlands are infinite, and that's literally just like your first line. So I mean, you're gonna get crazy sort of like different realms, and you know, like a group of people who look like Oscar Pistorius. Whatever his freaking name is, those guys are going to go to their realm. Probably you're going to go to like random creatures that are in the Shadowlands like realm. You know, there's like different stuff.
We're definitely going to see like Throst and like the Druss stuff, because that was so like popular in BFA. Like I love that aesthetic, and I want to see more of it. And I know it's going to be like the predominant like villain or whatever in the Ardenweald. So I'm sure we're going to go to like their plane of existence. And I'm hyped to see where they take everything else.
Yeah, I think like a whole Druss zone would be pretty freaking sweet. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be pretty wild. I think I guess going into BFA, the thing I was most excited for was like, where is this expansion gonna go? And I mean, if someone told me at the beginning of BFA was like, yeah, so the bosses of this expansion are gonna be,
God, dude, BFA story,
giant cocktease.
BFA story is so bad. I mean, I know, like, there's, like, a bunch of lore nerds who were like, oh, they did such a good job of storytelling. I don't think so. I think it was so, like, discombobulated, and it didn't make any goddamn sense, and they just went, like, they didn't have a good segue, you know?
It was like a HBO show or, like, some other TV show where, like, they just drag the plot along until the very end, and, like, oh, like, this is the real story. Like, yeah, it was, like, plot twists, whatever. Everything is overrun by old gods and shit. But it's just like, all right, we knew that's where it was going to go. Like, just give it to us. And they gave us, like, you know, Ashara or whatever it's called.
I think...
What's that city called that we went to underwater?
Well, okay, so, like, Nagitor and Mechagon, I feel like, was probably the best patch of BFA. I feel like 8.2 was, like, the best patch for, like, content-wise. I really enjoyed Mechagon, like, the zone. And I really enjoyed Nagitor. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed, you know, playing through it and finishing it, you know, and getting revered or whatever, right? I just did it very so I can get flying and, you know, never played it again. But anyways, I feel like they did really good. But then like 8.3 comes out and it's like N'Zoth is like the most badass villain we've had in a really long time, right? Like N'Zoth is so cool. And for it to be just like a raid and not even a new zone and you have to go back to Uldir and Pandaria, I just feel like they just kind of cucked us on that. They cucked us on something really good.
So
It was kind of
just
lazy, yeah.
yeah, just talking about like max level content. Like I know you just played through the Maw. The Maw just came out, and I think it was just the intro scenario. But like, what were your like overall thoughts on like where they're taking the max level like experience? If you could say anything about that.
So it's weird. So the Maw is actually listed as a level 56 to 60 zone on the map. So it's not actually it's not actually a level 60 zone. But we don't really know a lot because obviously the Maw that you go to in the intro scenario is a completely different Maw to the one that you go to when you're max level. It's literally just built. I think it's actually on a different map ID as well. It's built specifically for that intro scenario. It is like the same layout and everything like that, but essentially the stuff that you do there is just it's just this linear story of big old spoilers and whatnot.
So it's like the Lordaeron and the Broken Shore like map.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that. So it's the same as the the one in Draenor that you do with the fucking thingamajig, the big portal thing, and
yes, of course, I understand completely.
The best times, and yeah, I mean it's just an intro scenario. It's not bad. I think as I said on I don't know where I said it. I think it was in the comments or something. I said like with voice acting and cutscenes and all that jazz, it's going to be pretty nuts. I'm like the one thing I'm looking forward to, and I think what BFA did well is cutscenes and storytelling.
Yeah.
Maybe not the story itself, but the actual telling of that story.
Was good, yeah.
And with voice acting, and there's so much voice acting in WoW now, especially in the new expansion. I think it makes everything so much better, and especially for like a freaking like normie, like it just can't be a bothered to read quest text. It's just like a nice little audio thing in your ear is perfect.
That's definitely what I was gonna say. Like it's this expansion, I'll give it that one thing where like it was a lot more clear like what they wanted to do with the story and the lore and everything, and like they were what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? Like it was better for them to tell it through like cinematics and like cutscenes and stuff like that rather than the quest text, because everybody just has like auto skip and everything. Anyway.
No one reads.
Nobody reads. Kill 3 boars, whatever the hell. Like it's can't be bothered. And that's what I'm like the most hyped for in Shadowlands. I know there's a lot of like cutscenes already that we've seen. Like I just want to see more of that because I know nobody's gonna read any of the quests.
I don't even know how to read.
True, neither do I.
Hell yeah, brother.
Have you seen me try to read Twitch chat, man? It's like I'm like making up random words and filling in what I think they're saying. It's not good, man. So reading the quest text, I need somebody to hold my hand the entire time, dude. Go here, kill this, go back, like you know.
Yeah. So I think next week, the thing we're getting on April 8th. Oh no, July.
It's July 9th, right?
July
8th.
Whatever the date. What is it? July 9th?
It's July 9th.
No,
it's
8th.
Next Thursday.
8th. Wednesday. Yeah. Is it Thursday or Wednesday?
It's the 8th.
It's the 8th. Cool. July 8th.
So Wednesday.
I think so. Release date.
Yeah.
1000%. Right. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah,
1000%.
for sure.
I think we're gonna get a cutscene. And I think we're going to get something that we weren't expecting. I don't know what it is, but I think we're going to get it.
It's got to be something big because they wouldn't just like exclusively make it a Shadowlands announcement and like hype this all up.
Well, I don't know. They did that last time and then they canceled it.
I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe whatever they're working on it wasn't ready yet. I mean,
that's like why couldn't they? If it's just a release date, like why couldn't they just be like, yo,
Blue Post?
Sorry, we couldn't do the stream, but here's the release date.
Yeah. I think they're gonna announce something big. Like maybe they're gonna be like, oh well, in patch 9. Whatever it is, 9.1, it's like, oh, new allied race, you can be a Vampy boy.
We will. That's 100% true.
Do you think that the Covenants are gonna become allied races?
Yes, there's no question.
Yeah,
I think no even discussion.
Yeah, they'd be stupid not to.
Because
it's funny because people took out like Ian's because someone asked him about it. I think it was Zoltan or something like asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh, not right now." Like he literally said, like maybe there's a world where they can be sentient races.
Yeah.
And everyone just goes, "Oh, he's saying there isn't. It's not going to happen." But that's literally him saying that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I think as long as it can make Blizzard some money, they'll find a way to make it work in the lore. That's all I gotta say.
And it's not even like people would be upset if that were the case too.
Yeah,
like,
I think
these races look so cool and like well designed. Like there's no way they're gonna just throw them away.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
So I know like he was like kind of like teasing. I don't think he was teasing, but I think he said something about like a potential time skip, right? So I think obviously the next expansion we're gonna have probably like a revamped Azeroth, Azeroth Part 3, I think it'd be really cool to have new like capital cities. Like, let's say the Alliance takes back Lordaeron, and the Horde can have something. They can figure it out, right?
They can have good answers.
The Horde shouldn't get anything, in my opinion. They should just have.
That's true.
They should be happy with what they have, you know. And maybe they can get Nomergon. What if Nomergon became a city, like an actual like?
Okay.
Like, there's so many things that could, or Dire Maul becoming a city, like.
There's a lot of different options. I'm sure they'll open it up.
I wonder like what's gonna happen story wise, or how many years it's gonna be skipped forward, or you know if. Also, this is totally not related to what I was just saying, but I just wanted to say it. I hate Sylvanas. That's all I wanted to say.
You say that every time we do this, Sean.
I hate her, dude. She's such a dumb character now.
She got so big though. She's huge now.
saw
Oh
that,
yeah,
yes.
she grew like 12
Ginormous.
feet. That's pretty pog.
Yeah.
Every expansion.
It's
like
like-
the bigger the fatter the characters, the bigger they are.
It's like
True.
the movie Dude, Where's My Car, where the giant lady like steps over them. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
That's what.
He hasn't seen it, of course not.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen any movie, dude. I swear to God, man. You gotta.
What? So throwing it off a little bit. Who were you like most excited to see in Shadowlands? Like, you know, I know like we'll maybe see like something like Mankirk's wife or something like that. Like just hidden
Some good memes.
Easter egg characters like
Yeah.
in the Shadowlands. Like I don't know. Is there anybody else besides Mankirk's wife that like you're excited to see in Shadowlands?
Like dead characters. So this is
Yeah.
kind of my theory for one of the patches. Because time works differently in the Shadowlands, I think my theory is like someone like, I don't know, Sourfang or one of the big characters has kind of gone off and like created or joined a covenant and become the leader of that covenant in a different realm.
Well, isn't Draka part
be
of
dope.
Maldraxxus?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like maybe not Sourfang, maybe like a proper old character, maybe like Garrosh or something like that. Maybe he's come back and I don't know.
That'd be sick.
I don't know. I just feel like there's gonna be like some sort of old character where he's gonna turn up in like a I don't know, like a big old hood, and he's gonna big reveal, and everyone will be like, oh look, it's Garrosh, and he's happy, you know, he's a good boy now, or he's a bad boy now. Who knows? Like, I feel like they could do something cool like that. If it's Arthas, I'll quit the game. Actually, no, maybe I won't.
Like to see like a cameo, but not like a full on like huge like what's the word presence in the expansion. Like I'd love to see a cameo, but not like a huge presence in the expansion, because I don't want them to kill his like legacy. You know, knowing Blizzard.
Yeah. It's
But,
like the
think
SpongeBob memes where it's like, am I gonna defile the SpongeBob graves for money? Of course I am. And they just like dig up SpongeBob's dead grave and keep trying to do some crazy shit with it. I don't think Blizzard's beyond doing something like that, where because I know that we already have Mograine in the Shadowlands. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter or whatever, but like you saw like his like a new crafted Ashbringer.
Yeah,
Looks
cool.
awesome, by the way. I don't know why we couldn't have that as a freaking artifact appearance, but I know like people were saying that like, oh, like he had like, how does he have the Ashbringer? I don't think that's the actual Ashbringer. I think it's just like a recreation
like a replica,
of it.
like
Like it's almost like since his soul is there, like he can craft it like to like as like a memory of his past life, maybe.
Yeah.
Then maybe that might just a manifestation of his past life. Exactly. Yeah, actually true. So
I'm gonna say it every fucking time we do this, because I'm so passionate about this. I want a Jenkins the fucking Griefer NPC in the Shadowlands, or maybe just like a Kenny NPC, because he dies so many times and comes back, just chilling in the Shadowlands. I don't know, something. There's no South Park anything in WoW.
What covenant do you think the Griefer's gonna
tweet
be
in.
I've done that with no response, of course, but I'll do it again.
You should make, because you love making stuff on Twitter. You should make a kind of concept for it.
That'd be awesome.
I did that.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, tweet it again, and then I'll retweet it.
Yeah, I'll tweet it again. I did something where like I had him like in like Torghast with like a bunch of scorpions behind him. Got 2 likes.
Oh.
Listen, you probably just tweeted it at a bad time. I was probably on the toilet or something. I didn't see it. I would
Probably.
I would have hyped up my boy, dude. I would have gassed you up.
Muted first, do I?
That makes sense. I understand.
That's weird, huh? Wait, I have you blocked on Twitter? That's weird.
Oh.
No, and they brought back Millhouse too. Like I think Millhouse is a boss now, right? Like he's an actual boss in a dungeon. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Banastorm. That's pretty cool. So far everything that I've seen from Shadowlands I've liked so far. Like there's nothing that like I'm against or like art decision wise. Like the art team always does a good job except for the tier sets in BFA. Those are all dog shit. None of them look good. None of them look good. Except for like the mythic cloth set from BOD. That one looks good. The Nazjatar ones look like scuffed Aquaman, right?
The gear looks fantastic in Shadowlands. I'm very
gear
happy.
looks fantastic. Gear looks fantastic. I'm super excited about it, and I just want to see all the memes, dude. I just want to see all of the top tier players leveling up 4 characters at once. All of them going to different covenants, trying to decide which one is going to give them that extra 0.02% edge over the competition. Like, what do you think about the whole covenant situation, MrGM? Like, do you think it should be like only cosmetic and you can just choose whichever one you want, or do you think they can implement something where you can add or you can like swap between abilities?
So here's the thing, they keep saying about it and they're like, oh, wait till it's out, because I think they have some sort of system called like conduits or something, which essentially you can change the ability, right? You can add extra stuff to the ability to make it kind of to make it better or worse, or not or worse, right? to make it better, right? To make it better and more like relevant for your like the situation that you're in. So I feel like once that's in, then people will give their opinion. Obviously, as it stands right now, it's like, right, you get this one ability.
Choose the best one, yeah.
You get the Skippy Boy ability as well. You like Revendreth or whatever. Like it's obviously going to be like amazing for Mythic Plus, but let's be honest, who the fuck does Mythic Plus anymore?
Everybody, apparently.
I think that's like the only thing that people do in this game is Mythic Plus now.
Yeah. Oh, 10K.
Wait, we talk about the Covenant abilities a lot. So I wanted to ask what you think. Like, you think they're going to let us swap between the 4? Because I think that's the only possible way for me. For them to make this work. Like, I don't think that we're gonna actually like go into I was gonna say Shadowlands, but I read Syndragozer because I read his name in the chat.
We're going into Syndragozer.
Nice, dude. It's about time. Hands up, boys.
Yeah, no, but I just think that like that's just the only way that they're gonna do it. Like, they'll give us like the soulbinds and that'll keep us loyal to the Covenant, but like I don't think that we're gonna have to stick to like each ability, you know what I mean?
I think
because like go
I don't know. I've always kind of had this has always kind of been like my stance on it. Is like, as long as I'm gonna pick the Covenant that fits my character's theme the best, right? Like, I don't care. I don't necessarily care what if one ability is 2% better than the other ability. Like, that doesn't matter to me because I'm not a top tier, top 10 Mythic Raider or anything like that. Like, I'm not gonna be pushing Race to World first, and neither is Method, by the way.
You know what I want to see them do?
Is that too soon?
Oh, yeah, maybe a little bit. But anyway, I want to see them bring in like Covenant-specific customization with all these new customization options. I see you cracking up there, Sean. With all these new customization options, like I think that they 100% have to do this for like, because I know that like there's like undead like skin options for every race, so they can just put that in for us. Like give us like red eyes for Revendreth or whatever.
Ooh,
like some, like
I like
vampire-y, like necklaces and stuff. Like, I think they can go all out with that.
I think unlocking like character customizations per your Covenant would be really cool. Like just like having like
tattoos.
It would be really cool having like different colored DK eyes, like red DK eyes. I feel like
that's something that has been day in mind. So I think it's probably going to come out.
Yeah, that'll be hype.
just nothing.
Yeah.
Just overwhelmed.
Yeah, there's so much, dude. There's so much, and like.
So then, enough with the good stuff on the Shadowlands. What are some things that's concerning you?
Ooh, because you're playing.
I think you're the best one to be talking to about this stuff because you're the little god of the alpha, and you've been playing literally every.
I think you're the only streamer who's still playing the alpha.
Yeah, exactly. So like, since you've scoured the entire client, what's the one thing, like, what are some things that, like, have been worrying you?
Good question. I mean, with the Covenant stuff, like, people talk about it, they're like, oh yeah, the Covenant system, but the Covenant system is a load of systems on top of each other, right? So there's, like, the campaign, which is essentially, like, your Order Hall campaign or your class campaign from Legion, which is one part of it. You've also got the abilities, and as you said, with the abilities, there is a little bit of concern there because you will be kind of stuck to it, and people will kind of as much as Blizzard would want people to go with the ones that like aesthetically are like, oh man, I really like the look of the Underworld thing because I'm a furry.
Yeah.
Like that's you know, they're not going to want to do that because the Maldraxxus one is just so goddamn good.
Yeah.
You know, so that worries me, and I think even if they made them like, I don't know, pretty similar, there would still be ones that would be like, oh man, this is like, we can get like 0.2%, you know, more damage from this one, so we're going to go for that one, sort of thing. So that's kind of, I mean, that's a system that it's good for like a single player game.
Sure.
But for a game where there's so many min maxes and everyone's just kind of obsessed with being the best, it's not really practical.
Well, yeah, it's like whenever you don't know whenever you don't know how to play a class, you literally go to Wowhead and you type in 8.3 Unholy DK how to play or whatever, and you go to Wowhead and it tells you everything you need to know. It tells you your best in slot, tells you what talents to pick, tells you rotation, tells you it tells you everything, right? There's no
what best in slot.
Well, technically, there's still best in slot.
There will be best in slot.
Corruption ruins
There's
it.
no client forging or anything like that.
So like that's something that I'm like confused about. Like, so like how is that gonna like? How's the best in slot list gonna work like as the expansion progresses? You know, like if there's a best in slot list like in the first patch of Shadowlands, is there gonna be a new best in slot list in the next patch? And stuff
it's
like
like
that?
it'll be like that in Legion.
Back in 2019 in August, they brought this game out. It was called Classic World of Warcraft, right? And they announced that it was going to have phases. Now the phase 1 was MC and an Elixir, and all of your best in slot for phase 1 was available, right? And then phase 2 comes out, and then they go, all right, well, we've got this phase 2 best in slot list now.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I wouldn't know. I never got to level 60 in Classic. So.
Yeah, me neither. Actually, same. Wait, our room has a question. He wants to know if you think Sylvanas survives this expansion, or do you think we'll lose any other main characters?
She did.
There'll be some characters.
She's gonna die.
Double dying? Single dying? I don't know.
She's gonna die.
She's hopefully gone, yeah. I don't think she'll die. I think she'll be kind of like put into purgatory or something like that. Something will happen to her.
I would be okay with that too. If she's like trapped in the Shadowlands, she's gonna get redeemed. I'm gonna ban you. I'm just kidding.
She will though. She will.
She will.
So,
if she gets redeemed, I'll make you a mod in my channel.
If in 9.3 I'm doing daily quests from Sylvanas, I'm quitting the game.
Yeah, actually true though.
Actually, probably not.
Lightforged?
Well,
I know like if Pyromancer was here, he'd be talking our ear off about how the light is really evil at the end of the day, which
it's true.
They do have some, very naughty tendencies. Yeah, they're a little bit sketchy. But I think like what if in the expansion after Shadowlands, Azeroth is kind of taken over by the light and the Naru, and we have like the new alliance races, the Lightforged orcs that we had. If you did like the Magheart Orc campaign, I don't know if you saw those, but basically they were like enslaved to be warriors of the light. And I'm just saying, having an orc paladin would be so cool. So I would be okay with that. But what do you think?
Shoulders would be like up to here.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so good, dude. Like, okay, but like, what do you think? Like, what do you think's gonna happen with the story? Like, because I know they plan this out, like 2 expansions in advance. Like they have like their general outline, but. Yeah. What do you think? What's after Shadowlands? What do you think?
If someone told me the start BFA about Shadowlands, I wouldn't even know what they were talking about. So I think that's kind of, I guess that's a good thing where you can't really predict it, or it's a bad thing. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. But it's I don't know. I really don't know. There was some hints. I mean, in Bastion and a couple other zones where they were talking about the Light and Void, and they were talking about how they had some war go on like years and years ago, and maybe that'll be something that kind of gets involved maybe a little bit down the line, potentially. But I mean, it's kind of like you look at BFA, for example, like they hinted at the Old God stuff right at the beginning, like very first part of the cinematic where the ink goes over the bit of Storm Song and stuff like that. So I think not knowing is probably the best bit. Also, some Naru. Yeah, there's some Naru.
Yeah, we've actually seen them in the Shadowlands too. So
yeah, they're just chilling, doing whatever. So I don't know. I think I'm not sure, and I'm kind of excited. I'm more excited to find out what happens next as opposed to what happens right now. Because right now we kind of already know what happens, right? Yeah. We do the Castle Nathria. Starts and Nathrius is a dreadlord. Kel'Thas is a good boy again. That's pretty much that.
Isn't Kel'Thas a boss in Shadowlands again, or no?
He's involved in the encounter, but you have to heal him.
Oh, lame.
Yeah. Well, there's also like you go to like the past of him, so there's like some sort of flashback, there's some sort of craziness with that. So I don't really know what's going on with it, but we haven't seen him yet in the actual game at all, because the last part of Revendreth, which is obviously the last part of the expansion story, is not there.
Okay.
So we're gonna see what happens with that, but I think it'll involve some sort of like crazy frickin' scenario or some sort of cutscene or something. It would be pretty cool, hopefully.
Kind of like the Illidan story in Legion kind of thing.
Yeah, same sort of thing.
I can't believe I remembered that.
I think some people, everyone's best mate Dorif was like talking about how he thinks that Kel'Thas is going to be redeemed, or he might be redeemed at some point.
I'd be okay with that.
Everybody's going to get a redemption arc.
Yeah, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, thank you, Harry. Everybody gets to redeem.
That's the next expansion. That's the next expansion.
Yeah. Can I ask you though, off topic from the lore stuff. So, we were talking about BFA Alpha. What are some like big differences between BFA Alpha and the Shadowlands Alpha? Because I remember you like diving deep into the BFA Alpha as well. So like, if there's anything that sticks out to you that's like major differences and stuff like that.
There's a lot. During the BFA Alpha, Blizzard didn't really exist. They just put patches out, and then we would guess everything and be like, is this what it's meant to be like? We literally had no pre-mates.
Yeah.
And this time we have 5. We have five different pre-mates, which like are specifically made to test focus testing zones, which is exactly what I said like 4 months ago before the alpha. I said I want them to give us that sort of hyper focus testing of different zones and areas and stuff, and that's what we've got, which is really good. And then they communicate stuff as well. They're like, this is, for example, like they'll put out the post that, obviously the post about like a zone is like a generic post, but it also gives a little bit of information to the alpha testers, like what is all this shit, what's going on. And there's a lot, and then they've got like different systems inside the alpha, like for example, like No Man's Land, the debuff, like when you go to an area you're not supposed to go, they'll teleport you out, or they'll like give you like a big prompt on screen saying this is where this big story thing happens, or this is, we're missing this, we haven't done this yet, or all shit like that. And I think that's probably the best part of it, where they've, as opposed to like throwing it out there and just have been like working on it, they've also been working on it while telling the testers what's going on, and keeping us kind of in the loop with everything.
I do agree that like they are way more open to communication than they have been in the past. I feel like they're like, and obviously it's a good thing, right? Like, because you want them to like tell you exactly what to expect. Ooh, Ashbringer, nice. Is that like a letter opener or something like that?
So it's I'll show you.
Okay.
It's obviously attached to this extremely dusty gnome, because the gnome is the true Ashbringer.
Actually,
this
true. Listen.
It clips onto him.
Gnome paladins in the next expansion. I'm saying it right here, right now, or maybe even this expansion. Oh God. Okay, listen. That's actually pretty sick, dude.
That's so dope. What the hell? Where'd you get that?
I don't know. I've had it for years, but I've also... Hang on, he sits on this.
Oh, dude.
What is that?
It's a mechanic.
What the hell? That's dope, man.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, and then he's got the Ashbringer for some unknown reason. This is an official Blizzard thing. That's
so dope.
Yeah, it's really dusty and
technically
really old,
the Ashbringer isn't a paladin-only weapon, because it might be because like you can get it from Naxxramas, right? So like...
Well, true.
I guess so.
But
so going back to the alpha a little bit. So I know you haven't really played much of Torghast on stream, but what are your overall thoughts on Torghast, and like what do you think like they can improve on or whatever, if you have any thoughts about it? Because we haven't played it, obviously. We don't have beta or alpha or whatever. So I wish to. But yeah, everything looks great in Torghast. I would love to get my hands on it someday. It's different watching the streamer play it rather than actually playing it. So I want to hear like just paint the picture for us of like what you feel like when you're in Torghast.
God, I've done it for so long. It's still pretty good though. Like they've kind of put it more so like when like the last time I did it on stream, there was like different difficulties and stuff, right? They've actually put more of a kind of how it is going to be like when it's out. it was super fun. Like every time I've done it, and I probably ought to do it again sometime.
So, do you think it's gonna be like? Do you think it's gonna be like meaningful long-term content? Because that's kind of like they're. It's almost like their big expansion feature is Torghast, right? Because that's like how like Warfronts were for BFA. Like that was like their big expansion feature was Warfronts, and nobody does Warfronts anymore. Like I haven't.
I will never forget when I thought that Warfronts were going to be PvP, and then I said it in the stream. You're like, "What? No, it's not going to be PvP. It's going to be PvE." Like, what? Like, I was like so pissed off.
Yeah, so upsetting.
Oh,
do you think
God.
do you think Torghast is going to be like good long-term content? Because I feel like the Mage Tower is that, right? Because it came out in 8.1 or 8.2. I'm sorry, 7.2 is when the Mage Tower came out, and it basically lasted up until the end of the expansion, because it was challenging, meaningful content, and you took time to do or whatever. Do you think that this is going to be the same kind of thing as like a Mage Tower feel, where it's going to be like good and fun to do for the entire expansion, or do you think it's going to get tired? We're going to get tired of it by 9.1.
I hope so. I hope it's good. It is fun. Like, don't get me wrong, it is fun, but I don't know if that is just the honeymoon period where you're like, oh man, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
It is really cool having those awesome abilities and making your class like super crazy strong and stuff like that, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I think to make it last, they need to evolve it over time. So maybe they have like an end game plan,
like different seasons, I guess.
9.3, 9.2, or whatever. I don't know how they could make it and change it or whatever. But at the moment, I think it's fine. I think one thing they should do is, if they really want people to test it, and there's obviously not that many alpha testers, they should open up, as opposed to just like, you should have like your alpha testers, obviously, your 100% streamers, no one else.
True, actually, true, yeah.
But then have a Torghast server where people can kind of jump in, or pretty much, make it
That'd be
maybe open
cool.
or something
like
like that, where people can literally focus test Torghast, because if they're so focused on wanting it to be the best it can be, then open that up to like have like you have your alpha flag people, but you also have your Torghast flag people who could go in and play Torghast.
That's a really good idea.
My suggestion to like make it a little more interesting is to like add. I mean, I haven't really watched enough of like Torghast because I only watch you with retail, and like you haven't played much of it, so like I don't know if there are like specific like named bosses in Torghast, but I think that would be a really cool option of like maybe bringing like old bosses that we've killed before and put them in Torghast and stuff like that. Like maybe
that's
some like
really
well-known
cool.
like dungeon bosses and stuff like that. And then Maximo said it last like the other time we had him on, add in the advanced AI from the island expeditions.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, you get kind of they used it a little. I think they used it a little bit in Exile's Reach as well, with the because you do a dungeon with 2 NPCs that are like pretty intuitive. They know what's going on. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff you could do. I mean, there's points in Torghast where you like save NPCs, so there's a high chance that you could save an NPC and then he joins your group and literally plays like a player character. I mean, that would be kind of neat and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do with it, and you can tell they're working pretty hard on it. Like every time you get a patch, there's like tons of Torghast changes.
Yeah.
And you look at it from the point that when it first came out on alpha, it was just a shell of what it is now.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun, and it's definitely it's enjoyable. I like the fact that it's going to be repeatable, and there's going to be good rewards like mounts and gear and whatever.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to time gate, it'd be kind of crappy. So I'm hoping that, like they said before, they want to do a mode where you can keep doing it and a mode where you can progress your character. So I think that'll be hopefully something they do at some point.
So I know obviously like Torghast is basically open to everybody now on the off, and no matter what your level is, like it just kind of scales you to where you currently are. But like, do you think like are you able to level through Torghast?
Yeah.
No.
I thought you get XP.
So it's only max
you
level
get XP,
content?
but that's only because you're lower than 60. When you're actually in there, you do get scaled to 60, but your actual character is not 60. You still get XP.
Okay, so you can. So it's only.
That's not
it's
to say that they
max level
they
content.
couldn't not add that, but I that's not their plan at the minute. It is just max level, I think.
Okay. And also too, like Torghast keys. You think that there's gonna be some sort of currency to have to buy basically.
I mean, I
get
have
tickets.
one on my character.
Oh, okay, well then there's your answer, I guess, right?
But I don't know if that's, I don't know. As I said, like, I think they were talking about having one mode for like casual, like, you know, do it whenever you want, and then they have another mode for actually like you have to spend a currency to go in there and
I'd
do
be
all
okay
that.
with that.
So.
Yeah, because just like going in there with a couple buddies in Discord, just dicking around, like that'd be fun. Like, right, and just,
I think,
and not have to worry about buying a ticket.
I think that what they should do for each week, like have like a certain amount of, because like you know how in island expeditions you have to fill the bar of like Azurite whatever, and then you get like, you know, I guess a reward or something like that, right? So like you progress like each week, like in visions too, like we progress each week and you do like a certain amount of visions and you get whatever gear, and then after a certain point when you're done progressing for that week, just keep grinding as much as you want for like customization and stuff like that. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for?
Mounts.
Like toys and mounts and cosmetics.
Yeah.
That would be the best option for them to do that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, and they haven't really. I mean, every interview I listen to that they do these days with the devs and stuff, it's just like they'll like someone will say something, like the guy will ask the guy a question, he's like, I don't know, and he's like, but that's a really good idea, you know, like how
yeah. At least they're saying that it's a good idea and not like, oh well, you know, you'll just have to wait till it comes out and then not ever doing it at all. Like at least they're taking that feedback and doing something with it, right? I feel like they've been much better about that this expansion than in the past. Just like you know, listening to feedback and actually like, because I think they made some sort of change, and I forget exactly what it was, but you know, people were basically saying like, oh, we don't like this, and then they're like, okay, and then they fixed it, and they didn't do that anymore. You know, they changed it to something else, and so I don't know. I feel like I hope that Torghast is something that you can do in 9.3, you know, at the end of the expansion. It's still fun. I think one way they could do that, because like kind of how Mythic Plus has like different seasons and different affixes, I feel like they might be able to add something like that to Torghast once you get to the higher levels. Something like that, I mean, to where you can.
It was kind of like a thing.
Different
they
themes.
They were talking about They were talking about having like having, well, there was that timer bit, wasn't there? There was a whole debacle with the freaking timers.
Yeah, the torments.
The torments, yeah, and so they got rid of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think affixes and stuff like that is something they did discuss before, which I think would be cool, just to make it like spice it up a little bit, maybe. Like the more difficult you make it, like the harder it is, the better reward sort of thing. Which would be kind of neat. It's almost like they did that with Dungeons and Mythic Plus.
Well, yeah. So like, I feel like, and I wanted to touch on this before because I saw you. I know I was watching your stream and you were doing professions earlier. Like I know you can add specific items to the crafting ingredients to like increase the item level. Do you think that they will scale up crafted items to kind of get to where, because like obviously like now in 8.3, crafted items are literally just, you know, scrap. You know, that you basically scrap them to get
all of them. You can still make some cool
other than like, you know, like your top of the line like max level ones. But I feel like for like getting an alt, right, and you're like, okay, like I have an alt, I have leather working on the alt, and I want to get out of my heirlooms real quick, let me craft some gear. And I feel like the heirlooms are better than the crafted gear until you do like world quests and get the other stuff. I feel like maybe they should start to scale up, like kind of like how they have like the item level creep from like patch to patch to patch, because you obviously get higher item level each patch. I feel like they should do that with professions too, and not just with the end game professions, but with the beginning too. That way it's just another method of catch up. I think that'd be a good idea.
They have these crafters marks, and they have numbers, so you have like 1 to 6 or something like that, and each one is better and better, and it will increase the item level more. Like some of them are pretty cool because like you'll have like a level 60 item. But say you're level 52, you put a Crafter's Mark 2 on it, and it'll be like, right, we're going to make this item level 52, and I am level 120, right, for example.
Okay.
And that's expandable. So, like, because you put it and you choose the Crafter's Mark you're going to put in it, at the moment the max is like, I think it's Crafter's Mark 6, and it gives you item level 165. So, let's say in 9.1, they bring out Crafter's Marks 7, 8, 9, you know, to make it like level 200, idea. 220, 240, whatever. So essentially be making, as you said, like it'll keep professions relevant for a while with stuff like that. And I think that's kind of the idea of what they're doing, because there is room for expansion in that tooltip. You can tell that they've made space for stuff to be in there eventually as it goes along. So hopefully let's say your best in slot is some like random item from leatherworking. I guess the only issue there is where you'll be wearing that best in slot item through every patch, just a different upgraded version of it. But let's be honest, these days, especially with Mythic Plus, where the gear is exactly the same from each dungeon, just a higher item level every season, it doesn't really make much of a difference. But
Yeah.
So one thing that that Zach said on our first guest, Zach McAreevy, I don't know if you caught that one, but he suggested something that's like, I think is such a great idea, and it would get me into Mythic Plus. Have like sorry if you hear chopper outside. Have like a seasonal seasonal gear for Mythic Plus. So like, say like 1 month, or one season, like there's like a certain aesthetic of gear that like everybody gets, and then it like rotates to another aesthetic of gear. So like, instead of just having the one set of gear that you get throughout the whole fucking expansion, rotate it a little bit so people get more interested in playing your content. I think that would get me much more into Mythic Plus and actually play the game.
Well, I think like obviously like getting really cool items, like items that are like unique, because I feel like there's people who only do Mythic Plus and they never get a really cool looking set like you do from raiding or PvP or whatever, right? Yeah. And like there's people who literally only gear through Mythic Plus and they only play like they do high keys or whatever. And I feel like if they had like some sort of reward, even if it's just like a transmog set, kind of like the gladiator,
like the challenge mode sets.
Yeah, like you don't. Yeah, exactly.
I would do it if they gave me a transmog set. I'll do Mythic Plus.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like something like, even if it's just like a different color variation of the current tier set, I think that would still be just fine enough, right? Because it's like, okay, well now you have your LFR, normal, heroic, and mythic color variations, and then now you have Mythic Plus color variation. And I think it's just, I don't know, I feel like obviously the more rewards and more incentives you get, the better it is for everybody overall, right? Because obviously it's optional content. You don't have to do Mythic Plus if you don't want to. But I feel like people who do Mythic Plus, I feel like they should get some sort of cool aesthetic reward other than the same Getuku, but it's just a higher item level.
I mean, even like, I guess in the new one they added this Wormy Boy mount, right? They added the for doing what, like all 15 skills,
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have probably pursued it if it was a good mount.
Yeah, but you can just do the Mail Muncher and get the same damn thing.
I actually really like it because I got the Mail Muncher, LOL, Matt Asmongold, and I enjoy it very much. Because I don't really like the Cloud Serpent mount.
I hate it.
But I like this one. But I just don't like that they reuse the same.
I don't like the movement of the Cloud Serpent saw mounts. Like you're like.
Well, that's the same. That's the Mail Muncher, yeah.
The character's like fucking flying all over the place.
Yeah, it's so annoying. It's so bad. The sperm worm, yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. Sperm worm. I don't know, man.
I wanted to say, but I forgot what I was going to say.
Must have been really important.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just so excited about this expansion because obviously, like, we went from WoD, which was really shitty, then Legion, which was like okay in the beginning, and it ended on a really good note. I feel like Legion ended fantastic, and then we go from like being super strong to like being completely shit. Like you were really strong until you hit 115 in Shadow in BFA, and then like none of your legendaries worked, your artifact didn't work, like nothing worked anymore. So you like had to replace that gear with like shitty greens, right? In order to,
This actually leads into a good question. Since you leveled from each zone so far, like how did it feel like from 50 to 60? Like, did you feel like you like lost power? Like, did you feel shittier as you went along? Do you
feel like you're going to lose a bunch of power?
I haven't done a full run, so I got kind of halted. I was doing it on my Ashbringer character, the little dwarf paladin I've got, and I got halted in Bastion. So that's something I want to do, like this week. Is definitely like continue that because they fixed the bug that was causing me to stop. Because one thing I'm most interested in is the transition between the zones, like where you go like. Obviously, with the Bastion stuff, it's like, all right, Maldrax has attacked us. Let's go to Ouroboros, chat to Mei, then we'll go to Maldrax and deal with that, right? But like, Maldrax is to Revan, like Automelt. How's that link, sort of thing? And and with the gearing, it's so here's the thing. Speaking of recolors, you get like an item level. So say, for example, in Bastion, you'll get like a base item level set. I think it's like 100 or something like that, and the gear looks exactly the same throughout every zone. So
Mhm.
if I get a helm in Bastion from a quest, I'll get the same helm in Maldraxxus from a quest, but it'll be a different color.
Man.
Yeah.
And then I'll get the same helm again in Ardenworld, that'll be a
Man.
I
different
hate
color. Same helm in
Man.
Revendreth,
So-
that'll be a different color. Then I craft a helm, which is the same
Same
helm,
fucking
Oh
thing.
my
but a
god.
different color.
So that's what I was gonna ask and I forgot. So you and I know like I you know like how like the gear is kind of constructed. We like fuck around the Mono Beaver a lot on different things. So like what if it seems to me like them designing gear just seems like such a fucking hassle. Like, oh, a new expansion. Oh, we gotta design new gear. Oh, let's just give it a reskin and call it a day. I don't
No
want to deal
wonder,
with it.
no wonder
That's what it seems
BFA
like.
sets sucked so much freaking dick. BFA sets were horrible, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like it just seems like a lot of their gear is just like reskinned, like basic shit.
one
Like
set,
I mean,
call it a day.
I mean
Alright,
the raid stuff and you know that stuff looks great, but the
Yeah.
dungeon gear looks like exactly the same, and like the questing gear is exact. Like, why wouldn't they give us like crafted gear exclusive shit and like you know what I'm saying? Like, what's
Alright,
why is it so hard?
Let's put it this way, right?
Mhm.
Would you rather have a new set from questing? So basically the way they look at it is like you have your questing set that you recolor throughout the zones, you have your dungeon set that you recolor throughout the dungeons, you have your raid set, right? And then you have your covenant set, and then you have your legendary set. Now, taking it back to 2007, the gear that you got while leveling in Outland was
Never matched.
recolored tier sets from the previous fucking expansion.
Yeah.
So, would you rather have that? Would you rather have
Yeah.
like going through Bastion and you get
Yes.
freaking BOD like normal?
Yes,
mode?
actually, because I didn't do those fucking raids.
I hate BOD. No. I see.
Not-
I understand what you're
Green colours,
saying.
like bright pink or bright green. Or
Yeah.
It was really like clown. It was like clown sets. Yeah, TBC
Yeah.
clown
I think
sets.
that would be an interesting idea though, to have like reskin color gear from like the last expansion, but like themed to like that zone. So like an Ardenweald themed, like I don't know how that
Wait,
could
they
work,
should, ju-
but
they
I
should
mean
just
that would be a
make
cool
Arden.
idea.
They should just make Ardenweald themed gear that is themed towards Ardenweald and not just a fucking recolor of Oribos or whatever it is.
Well, they have. They've got the covenant sets.
Oh yeah, it's just
Yeah.
well, yeah, but like I guess
also,
I guess
the
that.
covenant, the covenant
wait.
sets are all recolored as well.
Oh, they
It's
just have.
Yeah.
four
Wait, so
colours for
there-
each one.
there's multiple. There's multiple covenant sets, correct? Like you can unlock multiple sets. They're just different recolors of each other. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, we're not really sure. There was some added in the last patch that had like the Revendreth one, which had like 5 colors or something like that.
Okay.
But I presume that you'll be able to unlock all the
So
colors.
see,
of it.
like-
I'm not necessarily mad about that because all of those sets look good. Like they all look really cool.
Yeah.
So like if they're recolors, like hey, like now you can just like choose a different color theme for your set. Like I don't mind that.
I
As long
think
as the
that's
set looks
also
cool.
a better idea for like the questing gear. If like they had like a basic version of the Covenant gear, you know what I mean? So like less like effects on it and just like
Yeah.
a bare bones kind of version of that gear, and then transition to like the dope ass like Covenant gear. I don't know. That would be a better idea for questing gear for each zone, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
Who knows?
I
how
mean,
it's
it'd be
gonna go.
cool. Yeah, I mean, like a kind of basic sort of version of the Covenant sets would be kind of neat, and you'd be like, okay, yeah, I guess the only thing with that is that they want thematically, say for example, you're in the Revendreth, you're a part of the Venthyr, right? You're a Venthyr boy, and you have like this basic version of the Ardenweald set, so you wear that instead because you're like, oh, I think that looks way cooler. I think they want to force people into those sets, so you kind of like, you could go to Oribos, you'd be like, right, that dude's Revendreth, that dude's whatever, right? You'll always know who the Ardenweald people are
That's true.
because
Let's be honest,
they
everyone's
have
just gonna be wearing Legion sets.
their Covenant ability makes them a Vulpine Familiar, or they make them a load of other different
Yeah.
things, but it's permanent in a rested zone. So when you go to Oribos, it's just going to be a ton of Vulpine Familiar people running around, which is going to be kind of interesting to see. And I think I like that a lot, like the fact that it's an ability that is permanent in a rested zone, that's aesthetic. And I think that'd be cool for like Revendreth to have something like that, where when you're in a rested zone, maybe you glow red, or maybe you have
Turn
like
into a bat.
something like that, yeah, just like some sort of
It'd be
crazy
really cool
kind of
if,
ability
like-
where you can instantly see someone and go, right, that dude is Revendreth,
I think it'd be really cool if like in if you were like chose Revendreth and like you go to Oribos, and since there's a lot more light in Oribos, like you're like you're like smoking a little bit, right? Because you're like part of like the
Yeah, that'd be
like the vampire.
Yeah.
Like really, you're a vampire. Like if you choose Revendreth, you're just a vampire. That's your team. Edward or whatever.
So
right?
that goes back to my Covenant based customization. That's just something I'd really love to see, and I hope they do. I feel like they are going to do it because I've seen like a lot of I can't name like the specific races, but undead is one, and I think I've seen it on other races like in the data mining where like each race has like blue eyes, green eyes, red eyes.
Oh man, there was loads.
Yeah,
Loads of awesome organized
Yeah.
that were data mined, and they just never came to be. So
But it makes me think that they're going to get like covenant based like eye color. Like
I mean, it's
eye
insanely
effect or
easy.
something.
It's insanely easy to add. I mean,
Takes
the
2
eye color
seconds, yeah.
you've probably seen the texture for it. It's just 2 dots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
color that, and then hey presto, there you go.
Yeah.
So I think from a like, it's such a simple thing for them to do, and they have the technology to make it so you can unlock stuff through questing. For example, the Night Warrior stuff.
Yep.
So that system's already in. They have the DB2 files for it as well. They even remade the way that system works in Shadowlands, in the back end. So in theory, yeah, there's a ton of stuff they can do. I think even like something we mentioned on stream today was like with the Worgans, like with your Worgan, because they've separated the human and the Worgan now.
Yeah.
Why not make it so you can choose, right? You're definitely 100% always a Worgan, but you can also be, you know, a night elf as well as a Worgan,
That'd be
or
really
instead of a night, like, you know, because in the lore there is a night elf.
Yeah, night elves
Worgen.
were the first Worgen.
Yeah, they're called there was a name for them, I can't remember, but
It was like a
for-
forbidden
like
druid
Norgan.
form.
no,
Yeah,
there is a name and I can't remember what it is, but it's something they could easily do, and even that, Druids of the Scythe, yeah, I think that's
there
it.
you go.
No, pack form, I think that's
yeah,
it. Anyway, either way,
that's what the form would be called.
that
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
something that could even be some sort of secret quest line that you unlock.
So
Yeah.
cool. I
Like-
would really like them to add like more like secret questline stuff, right? Like the
Exactly.
I know like it's not really going to be secret once it's data mined and everybody knows about it, but like something where it's like you get a really cool reward for a lot of time invested into it, and you know that not a lot of people are going to do it, you know? Like
Yeah, sure.
like the hive mind stuff. Like no like not a lot of people did the hive mind stuff. Yeah.
Well, the thing
You know?
the thing is with the hive mind stuff and the Una thing and there's even a secret right now that they don't know. None of that can be data mined.
Secrets.
Very, very minor things can be data mined, but you don't get the full picture. You don't see like none of like the hive mind thing was literally created and literally figured out by a group of people. Like it was literally like a hive mind, ironically. So like it wasn't like Wowhead said this is how you do it, you know, because
Yeah.
Wowhead couldn't find anything because they
And
don't
if
know what they're
Wowhead
looking
can't find
for.
it, then nobody can find it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like for those things, like the rewards weren't like cool enough for me to do. Like the
The
hive
hive
mind
mind-
mount, you can only get it. Like you can only use it if you were with the people you were.
No, you can use it, but nobody can. But nobody else can ride it unless they're part of your
What
hive
kind
mind.
of stupid shit is that? Yeah,
That's true.
I don't know.
Makes me mad.
You know what I want to see them do? You remember in Legion? I think there were like hidden transmogs or just like rare transmogs that you would get like drops like off
the
of
Legion
mobs or like in the
invasions?
dungeons and stuff like that. Just like random like unique looking transmogs. Like I would
Yeah.
love to see like a secret transmog list of like
That'd
different.
be cool.
Like, yeah, that would be dope. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's so much you can do with the game, and I hope that they're looking into feedback and looking into cool stuff they can do, especially with the way that they can hide data now and the way that they can, make everything just way better. Like you can tell, like where, like with Shadowlands specifically, so much back end stuff has changed in regards to like organizing it and making everything way more streamlined for them to add stuff like pretty easily. Especially, I mean, one thing that's really cool now is hotfixes. Like they can do hotfixes. They can do so much with hotfixes, and essentially that can be done like that, right? You don't
Yeah.
need to turn off the server or even update your game. It's just instant, essentially. So they could do some cool stuff with that. I think one thing I would love to see, which is definitely not going to happen, is that the dungeon, the other side, the way that it works essentially is a pretty simple, like you have like a hub and then you go into different bits. So like, for example, one bit is basically Mechagon, but
Okay.
it's like
Huh.
new assets, which is kind of cool. Then another bit is like Zul'Gurub, another bit is Ardenweald, and it's kind of nuts and crazy.
Huh.
But I want that to rotate. I want it to be like,
Yeah.
in
Oh,
season 1,
yeah.
it's Millhouse. In season 2, it's some other dude. Because the whole story of that is these people, like, the reason it's Millhouse Manastorm and it seems so random is because Millhouse had a deal with Bonsandi, right?
Mm.
And there's plenty of people they could dip from,
Mhm.
lore or whatever, like to say like, oh yeah, this guy did a deal with Bonsandi, we've put him into the thing, and it's so easy for them to just kind of drag and drop the different sections of the dungeon. And I
That
think it'd
would
be
be
cool
really
as well,
cool.
like to have like, oh yeah, an achievement for I killed Millhouse Manastorm, in season 1 of Shadowlands or whatever, right? And then it rotated into, I don't know, like Hogger or something.
Yeah, true. That'd be hilarious.
Having a Hogger boss in Shadowlands would be actually really cool.
3rd time's lucky.
I would love.
I think he'll be in Shadowlands. Yeah.
I would love for Hogger to be the final boss of Shadowlands.
The big reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoiler alert! It's just Hogger. It's just Hogger expansion, boys.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like how everything turns out like in the final stage. You think that we're gonna get? When do you think we're gonna get beta, man? You think we're gonna get beta like when they have their announcement or whatever, like, or announce when they're gonna do beta?
I don't know. They didn't announce like when they. So you got to compare it to the BFA media event that they did that time.
Yeah.
Where they announced the release date. They announced the there was a cinematic and a load of other features as well. So maybe, I mean, they might. We're still quite a few systems that aren't in, and essentially the way that we do an alpha and beta cycle now is that once the systems are in, they'll go to beta, because then in beta they just polish it up and kind of make everything a bit better.
Yeah.
But it's still very much alpha. Like there's still like so much.
Do you think that
no soul binds, there's no max
Q4
level
release
even,
date
which
is
is kind of a
accurate?
thing. What's that?
What?
Do you think that they're going to actually be able to make the Q4, release time? Because I know there's not, we don't have a release date yet, but my guess with how long the alpha's taking, I don't think we'll see it till December.
Yeah, I think November, December seems realistic. Especially considering everything that's going on and how they had to work from home and everything like that. It's kind of like freaking nuts the fact that they, they've created this game from home, like, and it's such a game as well. A game that they've had to build entire offices to make, in Irvine or whatever. Now they're just doing it from home, which is the thing. People make indie games from home, not entire MMORPGs that are like played by millions of people.
Multi-million-dollar projects. Yeah, like how much do you think they spend on making a WoW expansion? Like, what do you think their budget is? 100 million?
I couldn't even guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think wages as well, probably most of it.
Yeah, wages, and then really that's really, and then it's just hours worked. That's really all you have. Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's crazy because then you think if they they sell them for $50 a piece or whatever, right? Or if you buy like the Shadowlands meme edition, you get the the sperm worm and the ugly. I have a bone to pick with Blizzard because I bought that and I was like, oh sweet, I got this cool mount, this pet, I get a boost, and then I get this really cool transmog set. You don't even get the transmog set. You have to like get on your mount. You have to get on your mount, click on his the wart on the back of its tail.
Go to Bloodgate.
And then go to Bloodgate and farm for 6 hours trying to get those freaking things to drop. And oh my gosh, like just give me the guy. I bought it. Just give me the damn set. I bought the game. What more do you want from me, Blizzard?
Something to do.
That's true. Something to do. Stream content.
Made me so mad.
Yeah. Well, at least it's a decent looking set. I guess I'll tell you that.
It's not bad, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it looks kind of stupid.
You're stupid.
Fine. Fair enough. Premium
Anyways,
requests.
yeah, we're reaching that time. Want to say thanks for bringing you on, man. But the last thing that we usually ask of all of our guests is, I know we just talked about literally everything in Shadowlands, but what's like the number one thing that you're the most excited for in Shadowlands?
Yeah,
like,
number one.
Yeah, like what's that one thing?
What's your big ticket
Not
item?
being in BFA.
That's true. That's also my number one thing.
I'm excited to progress my character through a world that's like really freaking awesome, and seeing the kind of story unfold, pretty much, and trying out some new classes hopefully. But yeah, I don't know.
You're very close-minded when it comes to the classes. I would like to see you expand a little.
I like Paladin. Hunters, they're fun.
Paladin is very fun.
Paladin is so much fun. I think I don't even know what I was gonna say. I had a really good thought, and then it's gone now.
Must have been good.
It was really good.
Shadow Priest.
Shadow Priest. Yeah, Shadow Priest isn't as fun in BFA, but I heard that they're bringing back some like new abilities. I mean, some old abilities and
stuff they're bringing back.
Oh, I knew what I was gonna say. I'm excited for the beta for Azeroth to be over.
Yeah, true.
Like, if you didn't know already, they haven't even fixed Tol Dagor in BFA. Like Told
What
is
was
still
wrong with
broken. You're pulling like you like get pulled through like walls. There was one person who did like a AOE ability, and they pulled the entire ceiling. Like they pulled the entire room above them, and like 12 mobs just ran down and attacked the entire group.
That's hilarious.
I love
I
BFA.
have done Told since the beta.
It's
True,
just
me too.
I've done it once, and I'm never doing Told again. I can't stand that
Yeah.
dungeon. I want
Yeah.
good dungeons. That's what I'm excited about. I want to have good dungeons in Shadowlands. Fun dungeons.
They're really good. They're
They
really,
look,
really
they
good
look
so
great.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, everyone who's here is already following MrGM.
It's
So
true.
follow me, guys.
Follow
Yeah, follow
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Follow Chocolate on
Subscribe.
Twitch.
Please subscribe to me on YouTube.
And
Please.
subscribe to Adam. Shout out Chocolate. Oh, wait. You're not even a mod? What the hell, dude?
Not even a mod.
Because you're never in my
Freaking
stream,
wow.
dude. You're never
How
even in my stream.
embarrassing.
Hold up, hold up. Boom. There it is.
There you go.
There it is, baby.
I'm a mod.
Whoa,
There it
look
is.
at that. Guys, click on the link and then you can
Click on the
follow-
link, it'll bring you right here.
Yo, boys, again, thank you guys so much. We're gonna continue streaming some BFA. I'm not as cool. I didn't get into the alpha. I guess I'm not a real streamer. So we're gonna stream some BFA. If anyone is on North America servers, if you want to do like a Mythic and Taurus run, get some transmog or whatever, try to get a mount, let me
Dude,
know.
you should try to do BOD, because they got the skip now.
Yeah, I can't do that though. You have to do like a quest.
You have
Nope.
to have killed Jaina, I think.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Mythic. We haven't done
Oh.
Speaking
I
of
knew there was gonna be
skips.
something like that.
shit. Yeah, of course.
Speaking of skips, I did the Blackrock Foundry skip like 2 weeks ago. I did it, right? And it doesn't work. Like I can't do the skip. It just doesn't work. And I submitted a ticket and Blizzard just looked at it, wiped their ass with it and threw it away. That's all they did with it.
Good time.
And now I have to do the entire raid again. And I can't even
What a
do this.
break.
I can't even do the skip quest. Like the
What a
skip quest is
wonderful way to
done.
end it.
Anyways.
Oh, yo, Dan, actually, let me ask you. This is completely off topic, but Chocolate and I, for the past like 2-3 weeks, I've been trying to get my Shadowmourne Blood Infusion quest finished. And every time we do it, we fuck it up. And I don't know what we're doing. We bite one person, we bite the other person, we wait for them to do the thing, whatever, and then we kill the boss, and it doesn't work. I have no clue what we're doing wrong.
Well,
we watched so many videos. I'm
You
so
need
fucking
3
pissed
people.
off.
We did. So here's what we did. He bit me. I died. I had a warlock soulstone me. I rezzed up. Then he bit the warlock, and then he bit me. So that's 3 people.
Someone in chat just said they soloed Blood Infusion, but you can't.
That's the biggest cap
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
I have no idea. I have no idea about Blood Infusion.
Listen.
I haven't done it for years.
We all know that you are
I
Blizzard.
do have a 110 paladin if you need the extra person.
Yeah, we do. Next, wait, what's today? Today's Monday.
Monday.
Fuck, so tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, it's the day before reset. Well, boys, thank you guys so much. I know, Mr. Jim, you probably need to go eat some food. I know you
I haven't
streamed
eaten for 10 hours.
a
Yeah.
little long today, so I appreciate that. Sorry that I'm starving you and I'm keeping you malnourished, but boys, thank you guys so much for watching episode. What episode is this? Episode 6?
6.
Yeah, I
Holy
think so.
crap, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Almost
You should-
2 months.
I'd love for you to be like a kind of regular. I know this was originally going to be your podcast. So
Yeah,
if
true.
you ever want to come back.
Yeah,
Yeah, yoink, mine now, dude.
it's easy. Yeah, it's easy. Just come on,
Yeah.
chat shit.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
boys, thank you guys so much. Chat, thank you for all of the
Thanks, everyone, for coming.
subs and everything. I appreciate it, and the follows and the bits and the donos. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And if you want to hang out, please do, because we're going to keep streaming. Bye.